A teacher in Texas has been placed on administrative leave, and apparently the school board has voted unanimously to fire her, but she is planning on appealing it, which is why she's on administrative leave. Now, what happened? Why did Georgia Clark, that's her name, get into so much trouble? Well, apparently she thought it would be a good idea to alert Donald Trump to the fact that she believes some of her students might be undocumented immigrants. Now, the only problem is she was contacting him via Twitter and thought she was doing so privately through a direct message, but she was in fact tweeting to President Trump publicly. So here are some examples of her tweets. Her Twitter account has been taken down. Mr. Trump, Fort Worth Independent School District is loaded with illegal students from Mexico. Anything you can do to remove the illegals from Fort Worth would be greatly appreciated. Then she proceeds to tweet, Texas will not protect whistleblowers. Obviously, she's referring to herself as a whistleblower. The Mexicans refuse to honor our flag. Anyway, so as I mentioned, these were public tweets and the school board was notified about it, and they did vote on this, what to do about the situation, and I believe we have the video. Let's take a look.
I move to approve the proposed termination of Georgia N. Clark's continuing contract for a good cause pursuant to Chapter 21 of the Texas Education Code for the reasons discussed in closed session.
Looks like no discussion. Please move to vote. Motion passes unanimously 8-0.
Have you seen it? You ever see that meme where it's like, I love this song? That's how I feel there.
Totally.
8-0, I love this song.
Yes.
This is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It's so upsetting.
And by the way, based on precedent through Supreme Court rulings, this is not something that a teacher is even allowed to do. And I'll give you the details on that.
Right,
yeah.
That's another part of the story that a lot of people don't know, but she should have known. And also, I don't know what she's appealing, because I would never want a kid in her class again.
Oh, 100%.
That classroom would have to sit empty. I would never want, no kid, not just a kid who happens to be Latin American. No kid deserves to be around this type of hate. No kid, because you learn from your teachers. That's literally the only reason you're there. Not only are they're supposed to educate you, but they're supposed to care for you.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's the vast majority of teachers in this country are incredible people who have sacrificed so much, including decent pay, to do what they do.
I still am close with some of my teachers.
Yeah, me too, me too. I mean, when you have a great teacher, the impact that they have on your life it lasts your entire life, right?
Absolutely.
And here's the thing though, it goes the other way if you have a bad teacher. If you have a terrible teacher who makes you feel as though you're less than based on a host of characteristics, well, then you're gonna carry that with you for the rest of your life. And so you're right, I would not feel comfortable having someone like that teaching my kids. I don't have kids, but if I did have kids, I'd feel that way. Now, just to talk a little bit about what the precedent is when it comes to issues like this, the Supreme Court ruled in Plyler versus Doe that public schools are required to provide schooling for children regardless of their immigration status. Schools cannot ask students about their immigration status or report them or family members to federal immigration authorities.
So it's against federal law what she was doing.
That's exactly
that's an important part of this, because there was a Republican women's group on Facebook who were kind of protesting this punishment and saying, oh, so she's being punished because she asked the president to follow the law. No, but she's being punished because she broke the law, let alone the fact that she's an outright monster and a little bit of an idiot.
It is funny to see this trend of right-wingers who keep pretending as if they believe in the rule of law when they
don't even know it.
They don't know the law, or they literally go out of their way to break the law if they feel like they're against a certain group of people, and that's certainly the case here. So let me give you some background on this teacher, because this isn't the first time she's gotten in trouble for the way that she treats some of her students. According to the Washington Post, last month, one student asked to go to the bathroom, and then at that point, Clark told the student, quote, "Show me your papers that are saying you are legal." The student told investigators in an account that was corroborated by another student.
Can we just stop there just for a second? Just that moment is gonna stick with this kid for the rest of their life.
Definitely.
That's mortifying. It's hurtful, it's harmful. She did this, at least allegedly, to a child.
To a child who just asked to use the restroom. Why is that the first response that came to her head when a child asked to use the restroom? In 2007, Clark kicked a student, the review said, though an investigation determined it was without malice.
But it wasn't appropriate. I can't imagine any instance where it is.
Like, how do you accidentally kick a kid? Or I don't know the details of what happened in that situation.
But her foot hit a human being, okay?
Yes, yes. In 2013 though, she was disciplined for referring to a group of students as Little Mexico and called another student white bread. Those allegations proved to be true according to the review. So at that point, the school board should have done something, in my opinion. But unfortunately, it had to devolve to the point where she tweeted, about students that she suspects might be undocumented. And that's one other thing. How does she know they're undocumented? Does she really know? I mean, or is she just assuming because she's profiling her own students?
And you know what? I think that's an important, I'm glad that you pointed that out there, because I think it's important to note that whenever someone gets caught behaving like this and finally gets punished, it's never the first time. It's never the first time, and it's never the first time the people doing the punishing heard about it.
Exactly.
It is never the first time. And also, I don't care if they are undocumented. These are children.
Exactly.
These are children.
That's what the Supreme
Court said. And
Court
there's a reason
said
that the Supreme Court said, hey, you've got to educate a child. Hey, you've got to medicate a child. These are children. You know how I feel about treating undocumented adults the same way.
Right.
They're humans. But I feel like I thought we were in this world where we would all agree on what type of treatment, regardless of the situation, children deserve.
Right. Well, as we know,
we're not.
Most people in the right wing only care about children before they're viable outside a mother's womb.
That's right.
That's the only time. Other than that, let's go ahead and contact Trump to see if he can retaliate against these kids in my classroom. Right. It's unbelievable.
Like, she thought these were private messages. She signed her name to it, put her cell phone number on it. She teaches kids, is responsible for the well-being of children, for hours at a time.
Yep.
And then goes home and wants to see them detained.
Yeah.
Let alone the fact that this teacher in Fort Worth actually thought that she could directly talk to, that like the president was going to.
Yeah, like Trump was gonna be like, oh, thank you for the message. I'm gonna do something
Let me get right
about
on
this
Let me
right
contact
away.
the Justice Department.
Although I don't know, you never know with Trump. I mean, he's been known for like retweeting like racist memes or retweeting whatever animations of CNN getting physically assaulted.
You're right, you never know. You're right, it's not. Yeah.
Anyway, and by the way, just one final point I wanted to make. Why did the school board finally do something about this when she has a history of treating her students poorly? She publicly tweeted about it and it caught people's attention. I would argue, and I don't know for sure, this is just my guess. I would argue that this story became public enough where the school board was like, all right, we gotta do something. Because like how many times is she gonna do this before we get in trouble for our inaction?
I agree, and the students involved in this, these students just even with the potential of being in her vicinity were lucky that every adult at that meeting spoke out against her, because honestly, at the start of this story, reading it, I wasn't sure how that would go.
Same, I mean, there's been so many stories where the teacher gets, well, there actually aren't that many stories where the teacher gets protected, but in this case, where a teacher does something that seems questionable against students, I was a little surprised to see that there were consequences.
Yeah.
Usually it's, oh, we just found out that this teacher used to work as a stripper, so we're gonna go ahead and fire her.
Right.
Those are the things that we hear about the most.
Absolutely.
But in this case, I'm really happy to find that there were consequences for someone who actually was behaving badly.
Right.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.